Well, welcome to the Fifth Dimensional Academy of Higher Consciousness. We're having another webinar today, broadcasting from Los Angeles. Today is October 11th. So why don't we start with a meditation, and then you're welcome to write to me on the chat box if you have a question, if something is coming up for you, and we go from there. We do our meditation first, and then if you have any questions, I'll answer your questions. If not, then we'll just move on from there and see what happens, as these webinars are all very much happening based on the moment. And whatever comes up in this moment, it's very intuitive. A lot of times I don't think about what I want to talk about the day before. I just wait till I get here and sit with you and see what wants to come out and be shared. So some of you, I don't know if anyone is new today with me or not, but what we're going to do is we're going to do a simple meditation. Simply, you just relax without any effort, without really trying to make anything happen. Just keep in mind, meditation should be about simply being. You simply are. For example, and it doesn't have any looks. Meditation doesn't have to look like this, or this, or any of the pictures that we've seen that meditation looks like. Meditation doesn't have any looks. Meditation simply is a natural state that we were born with, and we go into this particular state many, many times throughout our lives, that we're doing something meditatively. That means we completely are aligned with our breath and the moment that we're in, and our actions happen to come, and everything starts to happen very organically and very naturally by diving into this alignment of this moment. So we can, you can examine this at different times when you're not stuck in your mind, the monkey mind, and you're not in this place of processing about the past, or the fears of the future, or the possibilities of the future, or past regrets, or whatever it is, or imagination, or story, or the fantasy, anything has happened, or in the future. You're simply here, and you go into an alignment with what is happening through your breath without even trying. And all of a sudden, you experience that you are operating from a complete harmonious place, being in total harmony with everything. And you're operating from a meditative state. So meditation is not necessarily that you sit in a comfortable position and close your eyes. Meditation can be in action. You could be cooking and meditating. You could be holding your baby in your arms and rocking the baby and be meditative. You could be walking or running or swimming in the swimming pool, or you're running in the field and you go into meditation, or you're skiing, or you're bike riding, whatever. Or making love and your meditation, or writing, or singing. Meditation doesn't have any particular form of looks, but we're quite often identifying meditation with a particular looks, like you're sitting like this, or like this, or whatever, and we're identifying that it has a particular kind of look, but it doesn't. So we don't want to minimize meditation to one sort of action, one sort of posture. We want to expand the meditation into every facet of our lives and recognize it. You could be driving and be in a meditative state. You could be speaking and giving a speech and you're in meditation. So on that note, for the simplicity of things, for now, all we're going to do is simply relax into your own presence in this moment. You just let everything go. Don't try. Absolutely no trying. Do not try to get to anywhere. Simply, you are right now, which for a lot of people is a very difficult thing to do. You simply are in this very moment, without any agendas, without any plans to go anywhere or to do anything. In this very moment, you're simply exercising and practicing your own natural state, which is being right now. You are. And you just take a deep breath. If you have a hard time with what I'm sharing with you, you can bring your attention to your breath. You can bring your attention to your nostrils as if you're breathing in and breathing out. You can bring your attention to your breath. That's one simple way of doing things. Or you can bring your attention to your third eye from inside, from within. You're simply bringing your attention to one point. By keeping your attention on one point. This is not trying not to think or trying to think. You're simply putting your attention on one point. It's a focus. It's bringing your attention. If you go to a nice place with a beautiful waterfall, turquoise water, there's a beautiful turquoise pond, and there's a waterfall. The water is falling into this beautiful pond. Naturally, your attention goes in that direction. There's not much you have to do. You're simply paying attention to it. If it's a fire truck, has its sirens on, and is driving very loud, very aggressively in the middle of the traffic, your attention will go in that direction. You don't have to try to notice it because it's loud and it's out there, and your attention will go in that direction naturally without trying. So right now we do the same thing. We bring our attention to our breath, or you bring your attention to your third eye here at this point. Without trying, you're simply bringing your attention to one point. And bringing your attention to this one point, you will experience a phenomena is taking place. A sense of deeper relaxation begin to appear. You're not trying to do anything or to get anywhere. You're simply sitting or lying down in a very comfortable position, and you're relaxing into your natural inherited state, the state of being. You simply are. In this place of being, you may even notice that your mind is running. Thoughts are passing through your mind, or it may be quiet. Even if you have a busy mind and you're hearing thoughts, simply stay in this observing state. Do not try to fight your thoughts or try to stop your thoughts. Simply observe your thoughts in observance of your mind. And that is meditation. As you keep breathing in and out, having your attention on one point, you may want to visualize that there is a bright light beginning to shine from your heart. From your chest area, light begins to pour out, as if you have a flashlight in your chest area and the light is pouring out. You can feel the heat of this light, golden light, pushing its way through to your chest. And as this takes place, you can imagine that there is a window. It's like French doors opening up. Your heart is opening up and the light is pouring out. And as the light is pouring out, you can feel the presence, the powerful presence of love, of this great intelligence that is revealing itself. The intelligence of love, pouring out from within, coming out of you and taking over your whole body. And as the flow of this powerful love and light increases, it illuminates your body. And you become like a ball of light. No longer you recognize the boundaries of your body, as your body has dissolved into the light. You know that you are, but you don't know where this consciousness, to what object it belongs any longer. But there is a very strong sense of presence. Presence without boundaries. The presence of love and light has taken over. Your mind has become quiet. And there's a deep sense that all is well. You can put your hands on your heart or close to your chest area. If you don't want to put your hands on your body, you can hold your hands close to your chest area. And between your hands and your body, you can feel this energy field. Strong energy field, strong presence of a being that you can feel with your hands. And you can repeat after me. I love myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I love everybody.
I love everybody.
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
I forgive everybody.
I forgive everybody.
Because I'm love.
Because I'm love.
Because I'm light.
Because I'm light.
Because I'm God.
Because I'm God.
That's why I love myself.
That's why I love myself.
And I forgive myself.
And I forgive myself.
Take a deep breath and just let go. We are going to be on the boundaries of a human being being weightless, limitless, with no judgments, having a strong sense of forgiveness, forgiving ourselves, going beyond our own story, and forgiving others. Remembering that forgiveness is the key to the heart. The heart is the way to go. The heart is where the love is. And the love is your power. And love wins it all at the end, always. So one more time, if you repeat after me. I love myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I love myself.
I love everybody.
I love everybody.
I forgive myself.
I forgive myself.
I forgive everybody.
I forgive everybody.
Because I'm love.
Because I'm love.
Because I'm light.
Because I'm light.
Because I'm God.
Because I'm God.
That's why I love myself.
That's why I love myself.
And I forgive myself.
And I forgive myself.
I say yes to love.
I say yes to love.
Yes to love.
Yes to love.
Yes.
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 Yes. Keep your attention on one point on your being. Simply on being. Allow thoughts to come and go. Don't fight your thoughts. Your emotions will come and go. We're not here to control our thoughts, to stop our mind, to manipulate our emotions. We're simply here observing things passing through, whatever they are. They could be positive, they could be negative. We don't have a judgment about it or an idea. We're simply present in this moment. The light doesn't care what it encounters. The light is always the light. The light penetrates the darkness. but the darkness cannot penetrate the light. The darkness is in the absence of light. At the presence of the light, there is no darkness. There are only shadows. And we are the light. As long as you are the light, there is nothing to fear. Fear comes when you forget that you are the light. At the presence of the light, fear does not exist. Fear is powerless. You are simply sitting or lying down. There is the awareness of the I am. You know that you are. But in this moment, you are dissolved into the light and love. So you have no boundaries. Now slowly, slowly come back. Come back here. So we come back into our center. We center ourselves. Because in ordinary time, we're all over. The mind goes here, goes there, to this, to that. We get pulled in this direction, that direction. With this event, that event. Whether it's the world stuff happening, natural disasters, political upheavals, economic ups and downs, or family stuff that we go through with our own family, or relationship stuff with our jobs, whatever, we get pulled this way and that way, into this and into that. And then we meditate and we come back into our own center, and we just come back to this place. And the mind quiets down, we come back to our heart. And once again, we remember what's up. Once again, we come back to our own center and we revisit ourselves away from the noise. You get away from the noise and you come back. And in coming back, there's this sense of calmness, there's quietness, there's this love. And in that, you remember that all is well, everything is just fine, there's no problem. You come back here. And here, at this place, there is no issues. There's no problem. The problems were in the mind, in the world, outside. But when you come back inside, there's nothing going on. Because if there was something going on, you would know it. You wouldn't be calm. You wouldn't be feeling good. You wouldn't be feeling expanded. You wouldn't be feeling the love you feel. But that feeling is coming when you're getting away from the world of the mind, whether it's an internal part of it or the external part of it. You get away from that and you are taking a vacation, and you're coming back to your inner nature. It's as if you take a vacation, going somewhere very pristine and surreal and beautiful nature and calm, without any noise. Same thing, you come back inside. And all of a sudden you remember again. All is very well. You come back to your own center. Because there's nothing going on in your own center. In the center of yourself, there is nothing going on. The entire world can be burning in fires, or in hurricanes, or volcanoes being destroyed. The Buddha is in the center of himself. And it's very calm and quiet within himself, within herself. The Buddha is not identified to what is going on in the other world, or what is going on in his or her mind. The Buddha is dismissing that. Is not paying any attention to it. Its attention comes back in here. And as you practice this, as your attention goes more and more within this place, you begin to see slowly or quickly, doesn't matter, you begin to see the world that appears to you as so real. This world that you're willing to fight for or die for or defend it. Your ideas, your ways, your traditional ways, your country, your religion, that's so important, your race, all of these things, they begin to lose their hold of you. You begin to see that they're not real. You begin to see that the other world, that it appears so real, and you're willing to fight for it, you begin to see that it's not real. It doesn't exist. In the beginning, these are words to you. I'm sharing with you words. And you're thinking to yourself, how can it not exist? How can it not be real? Well, and my answer to you is, where is it when you sleep and you don't dream? Where is the world? When you sleep and don't dream, what happens to it? Where does it go? You're sleeping and you're not dreaming. I'm not talking about when you're dreaming, because when you're dreaming, it's still, there's the mind activities. So there is a you doing something or observing something in your dream state. But when you're sleeping and not dreaming, everything disappears. And where are you then? Where are your problems? Where is the forest you were trying to save? Where is the animal rights? Where is you had worries about pollution or non-organic food or governments or blah, blah, blah. Where do they go? What happens to them? Because you have disappeared. You have gone back into meditation. You have gone back into the source of yourself. Your consciousness of who you think you are. This world, which is made out of thoughts, simple thoughts, collapses into the no mind. Because there's no more mind. It's just silence. So everything disappears. Same as when you're doing your meditation. You go into a deep meditation and your mind kind of disappears and you're in this deep place. Your eyes are closed. There is a sense of I am, but you are not anything in particular. You are vast. You become vastness. So you're not something anymore. There is no sense of boundaries of a physical body. You lose that sense. You can examine it for yourself. You don't have to believe what I'm telling you. You can examine it for yourself. It's very simple. Go in a deep meditative place. And you've done that. And you can see for yourself, you're in this place. There is the sense of I am. There is awareness. You're not brain dead. But you can see you're not anything in that time. You simply are, but you're not your body. You can't sense your body. You cannot sense anything. Limited. You become completely expanded. You become one with everything. Your heart opens up. You can feel pure love because your mind has become quiet. And you feel love and presence. And it feels so good. You love it. And you want more. So you come back for more. Because it's not because of I'm giving something to you that you don't have. It's because simply I'm directing you back to who you really are. So you're tasting and drinking your own presence and experiencing yourself. And it feels good. Because it's home. It's mama's home cooking. It's comfortable. It feels right. Then we come out of it, and if we remember, we maintain our status during the day and the weeks coming. If we forget, we get lost into the world of Maya, the world of thoughts. And then we get identified with the suffering. So we begin to suffer. Why is the world like this? Why there's no justice in it? Why is this happening? What's going to happen in the future? Look what happened in the past. Then suffering comes. Then you come back, we come together, we'll come back to the center, all of those things disappear. And then again we remember all is well. And you do this over and over again so many times till you discover the master, the guru within yourself. And you begin to see that what you were looking for all your life has always been here. It's within yourself. It surrounds you. It dances around you. It plays around you. It's your breath. It's your pulse. It's your own presence. That no force in universe can ever take it away from you. It's your power. It's here. Your body could be killed. Your body could be dismembered. Your family can be taken away. Your possessions can be taken away. But your power can never be taken away. Your presence is always here. It has nothing to do with your body parts. It has nothing to do with the meat. This is beyond that. And once you recognize it, then you're free. You're free from your prison. There's a couple questions. I'm just going to see what we got here. So, can you read these to me?
Private chats because I can't see them.
Right. I've had a lot of physical pains in the muscles. Okay, have a question here. I've had a lot of physical pains in the muscles around the heart. Do you have any explanation? And I am not ill. Well, I don't really know about your physical situation, where you're at, and I highly recommend that you check in with your physician and do an examination first to make sure that this is not a heart issue, or maybe it's a stomach problem, that you're having this pain within your heart. So I would eliminate that part first. just to make sure that it's not a physical problem. You know, I'm an advocate of keeping things simple and not getting lost into esoteric stuff. So I'm very practical. So if you're having pain in your chest and it's an ongoing basis, so my first suggestion is to go see an MD who's specialist and have some tests run, do some tests. And then after that, so if you want to look at the spiritual part of it, it's very much also possible that your heart is opening up. And as we're expanding in our spirituality, what happens is a lot of the hidden parts, the dark sides, things, memories of the past that some of us do not want to deal with, they begin to surface and come out. So we may be feeling heart pain because there are things from the past that are showing up that we never wanted to deal with, or we have forgotten about it, or for some reason we never faced them. So the heart's opening up, you're doing more of the work, the love's coming, but also the stuff coming out too. So that's the only way I can explain that to you, my dear. But I would definitely eliminate the physical aspect of it first by referring to a medical doctor. So let's see. You have any other questions? You can't read the questions, huh?
No.
No. Okay.
You can tell people, don't send little, hey, how's it going? But because it disrupts you and maybe just only questions.
Right. Okay, this time when someone else is saying, this time when we meditate, I feel press on both sides of my forehead and it come a big bright light in a spiral in many different colors. The last came da 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 da. Okay, well, thank you, far out. Thanks for sharing. But that's not a question. So it's a comment. So every time you're meditating, you may be experiencing something different. So you may not have a significant experience. It doesn't matter whether you have a significant experience in your meditation or you don't. That's not the goal, to have an experience. The goal of meditation is simply to recognize and to come back in a natural state of being of who we are. And operating from that place, operating from no mind rather than the mind. To unclutch, to undo a lifetime of conditioning, because we've been conditioned and we've been forced from freedom into a prison. And we're prisoners. Even though we appear to have freedom, even though you have the freedom to vote, you have the freedom to go buy anything you want, to date anyone you want, most of us in the Western world, we have the freedom of doing what we want to do, but we're not really free. We're prisoners. There's the illusion of freedom. It looks like you're free, but you're not free. You're in a prison of yourself. And you're not going to be free until you break your chains of the world of the mind and come back home to your heart, like how it used to be when you were a child. When you were 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, you were free. And slowly, slowly, you became a prisoner. And you're not even aware of it. But now we have each other, and we come in unity and oneness, And slowly, slowly, we're freeing ourselves of the three elements of the illusion that I am my thinking mind. I am this thing that I think I am. I'm this person that I think I am. I am Zarathustra. I'm from this country. I'm a man. have this religion. All this stuff that I think I am, these labels that are attached to me, that I am these things. And as I peel and pull them out, I realize that I'm not any of these things. I'm free of all of it. And so we free ourselves from the world of the mind, which only dwells in the past and in the future. Cannot be here. Doesn't know how to be here. When we learn how to be here, simply in this moment, detached from the past or the future, then what's here? In this moment that you are here, examine it for yourself. It's very simple. Simply examine. You're here. And examine in here to see if there is a problem. See if you have a problem in this moment. I'm not talking about your past, and I'm not talking about what's going to happen. Examine with yourself in this very moment. Is there a problem in this moment? And then there's the next moment again. Is there a problem again in this moment? And you will see for yourself that you are free. And also the same thing is, as we start to recognize that our emotions, our feelings, they're transitory and they come and go. Our jealousy, our strong feelings of possessing something or someone, our anger, our thoughts of depression, feeling depressed, feeling sad, all these thoughts that I'm not good enough, I'm ugly, I'm not good looking, I'm not attractive, I'm stupid, I didn't accomplish anything in my life, I'm never gonna find my lover in this life, I'm never gonna find my purpose in this life. These feelings that come and go. And you can examine for yourself that, don't they come and go? Are they here all the time? Am I experiencing every moment of my life that I'm angry, that I'm afraid, that I'm ugly? Every single moment of my life, am I feeling that? Or the feelings come and go? And if they come and go, how real could they be? Because if they're real, they should be here all the time, not just part-time. Examine it for yourself and see if it's real. And as you examine it for yourself, you start to free yourself from that too. And then finally comes the strongest identification, which is the meat. The meat, this one, that we identify to very strongly as who we think we are. This meat. And am I really this meat? Am I really this parts? You know, these different parts connected to each other, and they're being considered my body. And I don't even say me, I say my body. In my language, my body, my hand, my hair. If I have a headache, I say I have a headache. My head, an object that belongs to me, aches. If I break my arm or my elbow, oh, I got a tennis elbow. I hurt my elbow. This object that belongs to me, it's hurt. I have a stomach ache. My stomach. I need to do a hip replacement. I need to change my hip. So why don't I say I need to be changed instead of hip replacement or knee replacement? Why am I referring in my language to my body as if it's an object? This is my cup of coffee. This cup of coffee is mine. It's my coffee. My cup of coffee. My hand. It's an object belonging to me. But am I this object? If today they cut my hand and I don't have a hand, this is cut. I don't have a hand. Am I still Zarathustra? Am I still capable of come and sit here and talk to you? Or my whole instructional integrity changes? You know? You look at it. Are you really this body? Examine it for yourself. And as you examine all these three parts, your thinking mind, your idea of who you think you are, a thought, your name, your ID card, your family, your heritage. As you examine to see if you are really these things or you beyond these things. As you start to see that, you begin to see, you slowly become free. Freedom starts to come. A recognition that I am not my thinking mind, my thoughts. Is it possible that I'm not my thoughts? Because I can observe my thoughts. I can see my thoughts. I can analyze my thoughts. I can write them down. So then, therefore, they're an object. My thoughts are simple objects. Because I can observe them. They're going on in my head, and I can see them, and I can write them down. So who am I? Who can observe my thoughts? Because there has to be a separation between who I am and what thoughts passing through my mind. Because if I was my thoughts, I would never be aware of them. I would be that. It's like a dog or a cat doesn't come and say, hey, I'm a dog. A dog is a dog. It's not aware that it's a dog. A horse is not aware it's a horse. It is a horse. The same thing. I'm simply aware of my thinking mind, my thoughts passing through. Then am I my thoughts? Examine it for yourself. Check it out for yourself. And so if you can observe your thoughts passing through, then that means you are not your thoughts. You're something else. And then your emotions. Anger comes, depression comes, you're feeling really depressed, and you say, Zarathustra, I'm so depressed. I'm so depressed. Okay, and then depression goes away, and then you're happy. Oh, I'm so happy, Zarathustra. So that emotion took over, and now that emotion goes away, and something else comes. So are you your emotions? Pay attention to this, because that's how you become free. Otherwise, you're gonna stay in the Maya, the world of thoughts, the world you're in right now, the prison that you're in, into this prison. And that's fine. If you want to go around again and again and keep coming back into this world of thoughts, be my guest. You can do it as many times as you want. Just don't drag me down here every time, try to pull you out. If you want to become free from yourself, is you have to really become present with this and really see, observe your thinking mind, that you're not your thoughts because you can observe them. They're objects. And you're not your emotions because you can identify, you can observe your emotions passing through you. They pass through you. So you cannot be them either. And you're not the meat, because the meat, you've been observing the meat from the little child you've been. It's been growing, it's been changing, it gets sick, it gets well, it trims down, it gets fat, it goes up and down. And so you cannot be the meat either. So then what are you? You want to examine that. Then what are you? And the same thing, the world outside that you think it's so real, that you're willing to sacrifice your children, send them to the war to defend land. This world, is it, how real is this one? Is it real? Or it's simply made out of thoughts? Because if it's a real, then why is it changing all the time? Why is it changing all the time? Why is it not staying the same if it's real? If you got a ring, you got this ring, and the ring stays the ring. It doesn't change it doesn't become an elephant after 50 years. It's still your ring. 100 years from now, it's still your ring. 200 years from now, it's still the ring. It doesn't turn to be a cup because it's real. But how much of this world remains the same? It's changing all the time.
Rose asked a question on a different subject. Should I unmute it?
See what's going on here.
Does anyone have a question on a different subject if time permitted?
Yeah, sure. Let me see how much time we have. Oh, we have time.
Please unmute.
Yeah. Okay, Reza, we unmuted you.
Okay, thank you, Zarathustra. I always believe that when we meet different Sufi masters like yourself, or different spiritual uh, masters, like gurus, that would be fine because it depends on which one is working for us. And when I was reading your book, I also realized that you are confirming that. I have personally met three gurus, but they were living gurus, which I participated in their satsang and I was initiated by them. But when it comes to non-living gurus, like last time you mentioned about Ramana Maharishi and Babaji,
Right.
the only way that I can connect with them is through their books. Books are great sources, and I believe that they give us a lot of knowledge, but not knowing. So when I read a book from a guru or a Sufi master, how can I get the benefit of enlightenment? Otherwise, I'm just adding up a pile of knowledge to my brain, which is good in terms of history, but doesn't help into enlightenment of my heart.
Correct. That's right. Well, if you read something from Ramana Maharishi or Papaji Punjaji, they basically are referring to letting go of all knowledge, ultimately, of everything, even spiritual knowledge, all the stuff that we keep accumulating, that ultimately letting go of all the ideas, whatever idea it is, letting go of that idea. And so when you let go of all the ideas, what happens is that you're empty. You have no idea. I don't know. Oh, what does this mean, Zarathustra? I've been having like accidents. I'm having 3 accidents a week, or I run into the same person all over, or every time I look at my phone, I see 1111. What does this mean? It means nothing. It means to be careful so you don't have accidents, to be aware. It's basically, or we can attach a spiritual meaning to it. It means this or it means that. It's like ultimately coming to this place. When you're in this place and you're just sitting here, this is coming to the end of your spiritual seeking, or the beginning of your awakening, is that you're at this place finally that you don't know anything. You have come to this. I don't know anything. You have rejected all ideas, all understand, everything. You put everything away, and you have come to this place that I don't know. I know that I don't know. And then you're sitting humbly at the presence, because the presence is vast and it's unlimited. There's no limit to it. So how can you, with the limited mind, obtain the unlimited, the infinity? How can I contain the infinity into this human mind? It's impossible. So at one point you come to this, that I just don't know. And you stay in that place. And a phenomena takes place. Because in that moment, in that place of becoming humble, really humble, and you have surrendered to the presence, that which creates and destroys, that which is intelligence that's been around ever since the ever since. Because how long you've been around? How long I've been around? 50, 60, 70 years. And out of this 50, 60, 70 years that we've been around, how long we've been spiritual seekers? The first 30, 40 years of our lives, we don't know what's going on. We're robots. We're following a robotic pattern. Going to school, being brainwashed, then maybe college, and then get married and have children like everybody else does. And then when everything else falls apart or people leaves us and whatever it is, good or bad, then around age 40, 35, 30, 45, we start to seek and try to understand the nature of the world. And by now, let's say 25 years has gone by. How much do I know in 25, 30 years of being a spiritual seeker in comparison of the vastness of eternity that it's always been? In comparison to Her Majesty, the Infinite, that has brought billions and billions of human beings before me, and will bring billions after me, after this consciousness, after this identification that me, Zarathustra, has been on this planet for 50, 60, 70 years, only in comparison to billions and billions and billions of years of infinite. So how can I contain all of that in such short period of time? No, it's pure ignorance of any kind of notion that I can understand this. And that's where the humility comes, of becoming humble and surrendering that, wow, you have come to that place, which is huge, of this place of I don't know. I don't know anything, and I surrender to the Master. And then it will reveal itself. Not that it will reveal all of it. It will reveal enough that your fuse is not going to burn. You get glimpses of it. But you can never understand it. You can never ever understand it with your mind. But you can become one with it to the full extent of its presence with your heart. And you dissolve into it. It's like there is the cup. They put the cup to the ocean and they filled it up with the ocean water. So I have a cup here with the ocean water. And then at the end of my life or at my awakening, we pour this into the ocean. And now the liquid inside the cup, which was ocean water, reunites with the ocean. So it becomes the ocean. So now there is no separate entity trying to understand the ocean. It becomes that. And the same thing here. As a separate entity that we think we are, it's impossible to understand the infinite. But if we go beyond our separation into the oneness, then you become the infinite. And that person who tried to understand it is no longer there. So it's easier to get rid of that person than trying to understand the infinite. Getting rid of the one who's trying to understand the infinite. Instead of trying to accomplish the impossible, you get rid of the one who is trying to get to it. And in that getting rid of the trying, you become it. That person is no longer there. Get rid of who you think you are. Instead of trying to fix the world or be afraid of the world, get rid of the one who thinks. Get rid of that one. Get rid of yourself. That's the one you want to get rid of. The idea, the thought of who you think you are. Because who you think you are is simply a thought. It doesn't exist. Who you think you are as a separate person, separate entity, separated from everything, does not exist. It's never existed. It's only a thought. It's an illusion. It's an illusory, it's an image. You think you are a separate entity, separated from the infinite. That's only your thinking. And that brings suffering. So you get rid of that idea, and then there's no longer suffering, there's no seeking, there's nowhere to get. Everything is solved. There's no world. You don't need to fix the world. You don't need to worry about it. Because it doesn't need any fixing. That which is running the show is going to take care of everything. And is taking care of you right now. And then you're free. And the way to do that is to go beyond the thinking mind, to go into the silence. The more you quiet your mind, the more you go beyond the mind, the more you help this imaginary world as well. Because this imaginary world exists because there's a busy mind going on. We're having world problems and issues is because we have a busyness going on. So if you're concerned with it and you want to make changes in it, then quiet your mind. The more you quiet your mind, the less fires and hurricanes and disasters in the world. The more your mind gets busy, the more it's going to be chaotic out there. Quiet your mind. And the world gets quiet and harmonious. Your mind gets busy and crazy, you're going to see craziness. Because that world outside does not exist. It's just not there. It's a reflection of what is going on in your mind. And don't try to manipulate your own mind. Don't try to visualize a better world or anything. Forget about it. That's activating your mind. Don't give your mind any energy. Simply disconnect from it. By simply being aware that there is an entity doing its own thing, but it's not who you are. You're the observer of it. You're observing it, but you're not it. And that's how you disconnect from the world of thoughts. And then you begin to feel more calmer and more balanced and collected. And as that is happening, you begin to see the synchronicity of life and how things clicking, coming together and aligning in perfection. You begin to see the perfection of life in the midst of the chaos, in the midst of craziness. You will find your way home. And you know, on this path, you're going to have to be selfish. If you want to help other people, first, you have to be selfish, because you have to find your way first. Otherwise, it's a blind leading other blinds. So don't worry about saving the world. Save yourself first. And then your presence will help millions of people. But first, you have to find your way back home. And then wherever you go, it affects other people. Because you have found silence within yourself. You have found balance and tranquility within. So anywhere you go, you're affecting your surrounding. That is what is happening. The opposite of it is happening in the world. The news, the media, creating more chaos, more fear, more da-da-da-da-da-da. So you get pulled into the world of the Maya. You get pulled into the world of thoughts. And the more you engage with it, the more chaotic everything becomes. The more you disconnect from it and disengage from it and come to the meditation, the more your world becomes quiet. And as your world becomes quiet, you start to see the other world that you were so concerned about, that you begin to see that it's not real. You were concerning yourself about something that was made by Hollywood. It's an illusion. And you're getting really ramped up about it. So this is the way back. Any other way, you're a prisoner. You're caught into the Maya. So come back home. Leave the world alone. Don't make any attempts to change anything in the other world. Don't get engaged with it. Turn around, disconnect, come back here, come back to the heart. You've gone too far out. Come back. You've swam too far away in the middle of the ocean. Come back to the shores. Swim back. Swim back to the shores before you get drowned. You've gone too far. Yeah? Yeah. Nice to see you all. It's always a pleasure. So next week, the Academy is going to be on Thursday because, again, I have to go out of town. So I won't be available on Tuesday or Wednesday. So we'll meet up on Thursday. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. And then we'll make an announcement for the following week Academy because I'm flying back to Sweden. So I will let you know about the following week academy, but for now, next week academy is, what's the date next Thursday, Shishi? Is that going to be on the 19th?
October 19th, yeah.
Yeah, so next week we'll make announcements. So next academy, October 19th, will be broadcasted from Los Angeles. Same time as always. 10 a.m., 10 to 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and 19 to 20:30 European time.
And then the following week, the Scandinavians would have started an hour earlier because their clock goes back.
Oh yeah.
Rosalie was nice enough to send me a reminder a couple weeks early this time. Thank you, Rosalie.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Rosalie. So, okay. Nice to see you all. Stay in tune and we'll be in touch. God bless you.